Hi my friends, this is Loli. Today I bring you 5 sunflower DIYs under $5, all made using Dollar Tree products. Here we go with the first inspiration. I used one of these cotton boards I found at Dollar Tree and removed all the jute twine from it, remove all that extra glue that it had, and I just scraped everything off. Now I'm coming in with a flamingo rag and my burnt umber and I painted it using both colors. Then I used this Dollar Tree fabric and I'm going to cut a piece about 3 inches wide and 7 inches long. Then I went ahead and frayed the edges of the fabric once I was sure that it was fitting on my cotton board. And I'm just going to attach it to the cotton board using some Mod Podge. My friends, I want to take a quick moment to say thank you so much for clicking on my video. Thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed the video and welcome. I was mindful to not add much of a thick line of Mod Podge. I didn't want the Mod Podge to affect the color of the paint where the fabric was not, so I went a little bit smaller and then I came back with some more Mod Podge on the edges to make sure that those were here and making sure not to add Mod Podge any further than where the fabric will be. Here I am Mod Podging the fabric to the edges and to the back of the board, and I just made sure that everything was nice and taut on the sides and that the fabric contorted to the edges of the board. And then I added some more podge at the top of my fabric to protect it from dust. And I had so many of those little, I call it Mod Podge boogies. I don't know if you guys get them, but my Mod Podge always gets that gooey stuff inside. I gotta pull it out. But anyway, I added the Mod Podge over this and dried it with my heat gun. And now we are going to take one of these blessed signs or blessed word packages from Dollar Tree, and I picked the word thankful. And of course, my glue gun wasn't working. I was recently watching a video from Crafting with May, and she had the same issue with the same glue gun, so I think it might be the glue gun. Anyway, once I finally decided to heat up enough to have the glue come out freely, I'm going to add some hot glue to the back of that thankful word and glue it onto my cotton board. Then I took that jute cord that came with this cotton board and I just wrapped it around my fingers a few times to create a new bow. I just made sure that it was nicely symmetrical, and then I took another piece of jute cord and tied it in the middle to create a brand new bow for this. And of course, I burned off the fuzzies because I have to do that every time. Before putting that bow on, I wanted to put some jute cord at the neck of the cotton board just so it would look like it was just wrapped and then tied. So I just added some hot glue at the back, pressed a little end of my jute cord and just wrapped it about 2 to 3 times around the neck of my board, just making sure that the jute cord is next to each other and it's nice and neat. Once I did that, then I took my lighter and I burned off the fuzzies of those at the jute cord. I don't know, guys, if this is like an OCD thing or I don't know. Then I went ahead and glued my bow onto it, and look how cute that came out. Then I took the hanger, positioned it back on that hole, tied it the way it was before with just one single knot, as you see right there. And you will think I'm done. Guess what? I'm not done yet. I took one of these sunflowers from Dollar Tree. I removed one, and I'm going to cut that piece right there that connects to the stem. Try to make it as even as possible by melting it there using the tip of my glue gun. And then I added hot glue to the bottom as well and glued it right there in the middle of my fabric. And I'm still not done. I took some jute cord also, and I'm going to add it at the bottom and at the top of that piece of fabric as well. I just cut 2 pieces that were big enough to wrap to the back, and I just placed it there, as you see, with like about a ½ an inch away from the edge of the fabric, attaching it to go to the end and the back using some jute cord. I repeated the same thing on the bottom as well. My friends, if you enjoyed the video so far, don't forget to leave me a thumbs up. And if you're so inclined, please consider subscribing. It is free and it means the world to me. And don't forget to hit the notification bell and set it to all so you're notified when I upload any of my videos. Thank you so much for supporting my channel and for helping it grow. And here it is, all completed. Let me know what you think. My friends, today's video is part of our collaboration. It's the 5 under 5 DIY challenge. This month we are doing fall florals, and this challenge is hosted monthly by Missy from Crafty Cove, Emily from farmhouse Chic, and the guest host this month is Chic 77's DIY by Design. The link to their channels and to their playlist will be in the description box below and pinned in their comments. Make sure to head on over there when you're done with this video and show everyone some love. Our second inspiration piece today, we will be using one of these little wood signs from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to take some burnt amber from apple barrel and I'm going to add that to all the edges of this sign using the bark as a guide. And I did towards the sides as well, just trying to do the same thickness that I had for the other two sides. Then I took one of these decals from Dollar Tree. It says blessed family, so I'm going to just use the word blessed for this and the flowers. But first I added a coat of Mod Podge on the entire surface to make sure that this adhered nicely and that it had the same finish. Guys, it was horrible to work with this thing. As soon as I took it off, it just started, getting glued on itself, and I had a hard time. If you can see, I had a piece missing there, which is folded by itself. I did the best I could, straightened it up, and this is gonna be a rustic piece, so I just left it as it is. Then I took some of the sunflowers that also were on the sides there, and I'm adding it to the sides of my word blessed. I used both of the sunflowers, putting them on both sides of the word on there, making sure that everything was nice and flat and adhered. And then I came on top of it with some more Mod Podge once everything was nicely done. But first, I decided to add some like an ink pen or a gel pen to complete that L again. I should have not done that, because in a second you'll see, oop, it just came right off once I put the Mod Podge over it. So do that after you put your Mod Podge, please. Just learn from my mistakes. So anyway, I did that. I added all my Mod Podge over, and then I came back with a piece of paper towel and wiped off that extra gel that was on there. And I just added some Mod Podge over that again. And here, guys, there was a part that just kept popping off. So I just kept lifting until, I had it nicely flat. I wanted this to be adhered. I didn't want it to be lifting later on. So I wouldn't use these again. I really had a hard time with this, to be quite honest with you. So next time I'll be using my Cricut and then creating my own word using that to avoid this mess. Anyway, I re-Mod Podged, let it dry, and came in with some more of that burnt amber and a chip brush and distressed this piece. Then I came in with the gel pen again and fixed my L. And that is it for this one. Look at how cute that is, guys. Don't forget to tell me how you like it. For our next inspiration, we are going to be using one of the pages from this scrapbook that I got from Michael's. And I'm going to use also some paint stir sticks I got from Lowe's. I'm going to use a pack and one for a total of 4 paint stir sticks. And I laid my paint stir sticks exactly as I wanted them to be on my page. I want to make sure that I had the equal amount of that print showing on all of the sides. And once I was happy with the placement, I took a pen and marked exactly where I wanted to cut each one of my sticks. I did one measurement for you see the parallel signs right there. I'm marking them off. And then I'm going to do the same exact thing with the bottom, marking my paint stir sticks as well. Once I was done with that, I put together both of the opposite sides of the paint stir stick, since they will be the same measurement, and I taped them in place, and I did the same thing with the other side. And then I'm going to take them down to my circular saw and I'm going to chop them down. Then I took a combination of burnt amber and flamingo paint as well, and I'm going to paint these using both colors. I just put them on top of each other and blended them with my brush as I was painting. I just wanted this to have a little bit of a red tint. Once they dried, I'm going to go ahead and assemble this. So I just put them together as I had them before, making sure that everything fits in place before I start gluing anything. Once I was happy with it, I took my hot glue gun. This is actually hot wood glue that I'm using, and I am carefully taking them off their position and then placing them down once I glue them. And I did this with all 4 of the sides. Friends, with the temperatures we have right now, are you guys looking forward to fall? I know I am. Leave me a comment and let me know what part of the country or part of the world you're from and what your temperatures are like right now. I am curious to know. Alright guys, so then I bent over my paint stir sticks as you see there and added hot glue to the little joints as you see there, just making sure to have everything nice and secure. I repeated the same thing with both sides, and then I sanded off any excess glue that was left over, and I just came back with some burnt amber and touched up all those sections. And then I came in with some florals. You know already I wasn't done. So I'm going to take some of this fall boxwood that I got from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to use one of those sunflowers as well. I removed the little stem from the bottom there that usually connects to the pick, and then I used my hot glue gun to flatten it a little bit more and added some hot glue to it as well to glue it right there at the top of my frame. All right, so then we are going to take a couple pieces of that boxwood and glue them underneath of that sunflowers you see there. I just held it in place until it dried. Then I repeated the same thing with the other side, but I added the piece of boxwood first and then added some hot glue when I knew exactly where I wanted it, just to make sure that everything was symmetrical on here. And then I pressed down until it was dry. Then I took a couple more pieces of boxwood, but I just took them off the stem and I'm putting them onto the areas that was scarce and adding some hot glue to attach them and making sure that those joints are hidden by the sunflower. And that was pretty much it. Let me know what you think. For the next inspiration, we are going to use one of these pumpkins from Dollar Tree. The first thing that I did was remove that tag. Now I'm taking some burnt amber and some flamingo red, and I'm going to paint the entire surface of the pumpkin using these two colors, blending as I'm painting. Again, just to give this burnt amber a more of a little red tint. Then I'm coming back in using just the flamingo red, just to give the indentations a little bit more definition. And I did this in every single one of the crevices on there. Then I did the same thing, but using the burnt amber over all the raised surfaces to make sure I had a nice differentiation between the two, and this is what it looked like when I was done. Then I let it dry. Next day I came back with this sunflower pick from Dollar Tree. I removed every single one of the stems off, and I'm going to be using them on my pumpkin. But first I removed that stem off. I just needed to paint to help me hold everything while I was painting. Now I'm going to add every single part of this pick onto my pumpkin, just trying to distribute it as cute as possible. Just loving this pick all together, guys. I think it was just perfect for this project. But I'm not done yet. I'm going to come in using some Spanish moss, and I'm going to glue it at the base of all the flowers, just to give this more of an upscale look and to cover up any sections that might be showing the stems. And that is it for this one. Let me know what you think. The next inspiration, we're going to be using one of these jars from Dollar Tree. This one is actually new. And I'm going to remove that jute cord that it came with, along with those metal pieces as well. That one metal piece there was harder to take off. I just enlisted the help of my little putty knife, as you see there, popped it off, removed the extra glue that was in the back, and I'm going to rip off this paper as well. It didn't come out as easy as I thought, but I used a little trick that I learned from my friend Brenda from Rustic and Lace DIY. She puts a paper towel over it, lets it soak with water, and then scraped it off, and it comes off like butter, guys. It worked like a champ. Thank you so much, Brenda, for this tip. It really saved me a lot of time. So after I left this for maybe 5 minutes soaking through. I came back with my putty knife and then scraped it right off, as you see right there, just like butter, guys. It came a lot easier than it did before. And if I would have left it a couple minutes, that middle section would have been so stubborn. So once I did that, I just wiped it off, and now I'm sanding off any rough edges, getting the surface ready for painting. Then I wiped everything down to remove any dust, and I'm coming in with a combination of both of the colors I've been using the entire video, and I just painted them as you see right there. Now I took some of these rubber transfers from Dollar Tree, and I'm taking 2 of the pieces on there, and we're gonna add them to the corner of this jar. These guys, they are gorgeous. I love these decals, these rubber transfers actually. The trick is to rub and lift the paper at the same time to make sure that all of your rub-on stays on the surface, and sometimes you'll get a little bit that's left on the paper, but it's minimal. It doesn't really affect the picture. Then I'm gluing on the piece of my metal right on there, the piece right back onto the jar. I really like how that turned out. And then I'm also repositioning the same jute cord that came with it, just adding hot glue to the corners as you see there, the edges, and holding it in place until it dries. And I did that with both sides. And then I'm going to glue it to the back of my jar as well. And look how cute that's looking. Then I took one of these words from the Dollar Tree pack that comes for fall. I chose the word blessed, and I'm going to glue it right there at the middle of the jar. Then I made a bow using a piece of jute cord, and I'm going to glue it to the top section of the jar as you see right there. Then I took a little paper sunflower also from Dollar Tree, cut it off, and I'm going to glue it right on top of the little bow, right at the center. And that is it for this one. Let me know what you think. And here we go with the final reveal. My friends, as always, thank you so much for watching. Be blessed, be a blessing, and craft responsibly. And if you would like to follow me on social media, here are my social media links. And don't forget to visit my friends in the playlist. And if you would like to see more of my videos, here is a suggestion, and go ahead and binge as well. And don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching today. You're amazing. Bye.